Myself, A Krishna Chaitanya, Assistant Professor, Department of IT, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Our subject is Web Technologies, and today's topic is HTML lists and table tags. First of all, discuss HTML lists. HTML lists are used to specify lists of information. All lists must contain one or more list elements. A list is a record of short pieces of information, for example, such as people names, usually written or printed with a single thing on each line and ordered in a way that makes a particular thing easy to find. HTML lists allow web developers to group a set of related items in lists. For example, a shopping list or to-do list. So when we are going to shopping, before that we have to list all the items which we are going to purchase today. So that we have to list in sequence order or unorder. So that we have to prepare on paper and we have to purchase the items. As well as we can also develop an application and we can store all the list of items in that application. Before purchasing, we can open that application and we can checklist after purchasing of each item. So like that we can develop application by using lists. As well as we have to-do list. What are we going to do today or tomorrow? So we have to list all the information in the application. Whenever we have to do the work, we have to start by seeing that application, that is to-do list. So for that purpose, we have to use HTML lists. So there are three types of lists we have. One is unordered list, or we also call as bulleted list. And second one is ordered lists, or we also can call as numbered lists. And third one we call as definition lists or description list. List can be easily embedded within other lists to provide complex yet readable structures. The ordered or unordered lists are each made up of set of list of items. So when you use unordered list or ordered list or definition list, all the list of items you have to write in between li element. So this is open element li and this one is end element. So you have to end the element with slash. So there are three types of HTML lists we have. One is unordered list, second is ordered list, third one is definition list. First we'll discuss unordered list. Unordered lists are called unnumbered lists also. Unordered lists are usually used when a specific order or sequence is not important. So when some lists are not important, if you want to write, no need of writing 1, 2, 3 like that. So then you can use unordered list. The list of items included in between UL tag or UL element. So starting UL element and end with /UL. In between that, the list of items you have to write. List of items are using li tag. So the type attribute can also be used and added to the UL tag that indicates the displayed bullet along with list of items is square, disc or circle. So by default it is a disc. Suppose you are not using any type, if you not written the attribute, the type is something like square, disc or circle, then it by default takes as disc. So syntax for UL tag or unordered list is UL type is equal to square, otherwise you can use disc or we can also use circle. So end with UL tag, that is slash, you have to use UL. In between that, you have to write the list of items, right? So when you use different items, so item name 1, you have to write between li tag, open tag and close tag. And second item, third item, fourth item, up to list of n items, we can write in li tag. Okay. So for simple example, we'll see for unordered list, the type attribute. Use type attribute for UL tag to specify the type of bullet you like. By default, it is a disk. For example, if you given UL type is equal to square, so UL is a unordered list tag, type is square type, square type. So how it will display? For example, I given two list of items, that is beetroot and ginger. So it will take its display before text, the square gives the space of that item name. Next, same way, square space item name. Like that, it will list of items. So when you use unordered list, it will display either square, disk, or circle. Circle. Okay. For if you want to display the disk, then you have to use UL type is equal to disk. If you want to display the list of items, it's circle. So type is equal to circle. Unordered list example. So here you have to start the tag with negation doc type HTML. So you are telling to the system this is HTML type. Hypertext markup language we are using. So you have to start the tag with HTML, that we are telling this is we are using HTML elements, and body, whatever you are writing in between the body, that the entire thing is displayed to output stream that is in the browser. So you have to using for H2 tag for displaying the grocery list, that is a title we are displaying one particular size. After that, we want to display the list of items in unordered list. Then start with UL tag, and end with here UL, that is /UL. So in between that, you have to write list of items. For example, I am storing here list of items. One is bread, eggs, milk, coffee. Each item you have to write in between li and /li. That means so open tag and end tag. So after that, you have to end body and HTML also. So that is a syntax or structure for HTML unordered list. And save this file with .html. So you will get the output grocery list. So we not used any type here. So by default it displays disk. So displaying the list of items, that is bread, eggs, milk, coffee. So the default is disk. Suppose if you use here UL space type is equal to circle, then it displays here item name before the item. It will display here circles. Right? That is unordered list. Suppose your sequence is not important, then we can use unordered list. Next one is ordered list. Ordered list also called numbered or sequence lists. In the ordered list, the list of items have an order that is signified by numbers. Hence, it's sometimes called as number lists. Elements used to present a list of items, which are typically separated by white space and are marked by numbers or alphabets. An ordered list should start the OL element, which is immediately followed by LI element, which is same as LI in unordered list. End of the ordered list is specified with ending tag /OL. So all of us know how to write element left angler /OL right angler that we call as element tag. So for order list, suppose you want to list the items in sequence order, then you have to use order list. Suppose you want to display the courses, BTech courses in sequence order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 is for CSC, 2 is for Aeronautical, 3 is for information technology. Like that, we want to display for engineering courses, then you can use order list. Okay. So you can also use type attribute for ordered list. The type attribute for OL tag to specify the type of numbering you like. By default, it is a number. So we are not given any attribute type is equal to that value, then it takes the default value is number. So examples, you can use any one whichever you like, right? OL type is equal to 1. That means default case numbers. So by default also it will display 1, 2, 3. Otherwise you can use type is equal to 1. That means you have to give in between double quotes. See here, OL is the order list element. In that attribute is type, assignment operator. After that you have to give value. So value you have to give in between double quotes. Double quotes. Okay, right angular bracket. So OL type is equal to I, uppercase numericals. OL type is equal to small I, lowercase numerals. OL type is equal to capital A, uppercase letters. OL type is equal to small a, lowercase letters. Also, we can also specify from where that sequence order we have to start. That also we can specify with the attribute start attribute. So in OL order list, OL element, we have attribute is type is equal to, we have to specify what is the numerical we have to use. After that, we have another attribute is start. Start is the attribute, assignment operator. In between double quotes, you have to specify value from where the order list have to start. Start. Right, that is 4. Suppose if you given 4, the numbers are starts with 4. Suppose you given here start 4 and the type is I. That means it starts from right IV. That means it is number is 4. Okay. So like that we can specify type and where the sequence order have to start. So that is the ordered list. Ordered list. So for example, for ordered list, right, we can use OL is open element for order list, and the list of items you have to specify, and end with /OL. So in between this OL open and close, the list of items you have to specify using LI tag or LI element. LI element. When you're telling tag or element, you have to write both open tag and ending tag. Open tag is / left angular bracket LI right angular. In between, you have to write that item name and end with left angular / LI right angular bracket. So list of items you have to write in between these lists, right? So if you save this file with extension .html and you open in browser, you'll get the output is grocery list, bread, eggs, milk, coffee. So by default, we not specified anything. The type is so it displays the default is the sequence order 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have list of items. We passed here 4 items. So here it displayed 1, 2, 3, 4. Next thought type in HTML list is HTML definition lists. HTML and XML supports a list style which is called definition lists, where entries are listed like in a dictionary or encyclopedia. The definition list is the ideal way to present a glossary, list of items, or other name or value list. So we want to display that expansions or right, some keywords what we used in web technologies like HTML. What is HTML? Hypertext Markup Language. WT. WT means web technologies. IRS means information retrieval systems. So like that, if you want to write that definition list, then you have to use DL tags. DL tags. Okay. The opening tag is for a definition list is DL defines the start of the list. DT, a term. DD, term definition. DL defines the end of the list. So open tag is DL and end tag is /DL. So in between that, you can write term and definition. Term and definition. That is DT and DD. So for example, definition list. See here, open tag is DL and term is DT and end with DT. In between that, you have to write your list of item. That is HTML. And definition we have to write in between the tag DD. DD. This stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So this stands for Hypertext Markup Language and end with DD. Next we can take another item HTTP that you have to write in between DT and definition you have to write that is HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. Transfer protocol. So like that, any number of definitions we can write by using DT and DD. So that DT and DT, that list of items, how to write in DL tag. DL tag. Okay. So when you go for a dictionary at the end, we have that expansions, right? All that we can writing with DL tags only. DL tags. Okay. So we'll see simple examples. With simple example, how to use a list of list tags. HTML list tags. Example for unordered list. Unordered list. See here, use tag is UL and list of items we passed here. And we got the output is grocery items, and by default it is disk. So we want to change that type. So if I want to display here, type is circle. So value you have to give CAR CLE, circle, in between double quotes, and save this file and go to browser and do the refresh. See here the output is here circles, right? Suppose you want to display square. The value you have to give SQARE, square. Save this file and go to the browser and do the refresh. So you get here, right, square. The each item, before each item, it is displayed the type is square and space and your item name. So this one is unordered list. So we want to use same list of items in order list we want to display. Then use OL tag, and end with OL ordered list, and save this file and remove this type and save this file with .html and go to the browser and do the refresh. See, by default it is displaying the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 by default, the list of items. Okay. So we want to display Roman letters, right, or alphabetical values that in sequence order. Then you have to use here capital letters uppercase means A. Save this file and do the refresh. So A, B, C. So it will start from starting line, that is A, B, C, D. So like that we can display in sequence order, that is ordered list. Suppose I want to start from D, then you have to use the attribute name is start is equal to 5. Okay, 5. Just do refresh. So E, that is A, B, C, D, E. That is fifth character is E, that is start from E, F, G, H. Like that, we can display the list of items, as well as we can use definition list. For example, WT are given DL tag for definition list. DL definition term, that is for example WT, and DD definition is definition web technologies, and with DD, right? So we'll take one more, that is DT, that is HTML, and DD. Hypertext markup language. So like this I want to display, right? Then you have to use, right? Definition list means you have to use DL, right? Just say this file, that is third type. So first one is unordered list, second one is ordered list, third one is definition list. Just do refresh. So WT, right? WT is the term, and definition is web technologies, and HTML is term and expansion is hypertext markup language. Like that we can use list tags. Okay. Coming to example for table tags can use table. Finally, the list tags are used to display the lists of information in particular order or unorder, as well as you can also display definition lists. And next topic is HTML tables. When you go into browsers, websites or web pages will see the tables. In some applications or in some websites, the tables are hidden, but in well-structured form, if you want to display the content, then you have to use tables. Then how to use tables or how to write or how to create the tables in HTML is, that is HTML table tags we have to use. So table is one of the most useful HTML constructs. Tables are finding all over the web applications. The main uses of table are that they are used to structure the pieces of information and structure the whole web page. Tables allow you to present data across the rows and columns, making it easy for reader to correlate connected pieces of information. A table is collection of rows and columns of collection of cells. So a table is, when we are telling table, everything is displayed in form of rows and columns. And each data we are displaying in the cell. So the basic element in a table is cell or the grid. A cell is formed when a new crosses a column. You can specify the amount of space between cells in a table. This space is called cell spacing. You can also specify the cell spacing by using cell spacing attribute that we'll discuss. You can specify the amount of space between the contents of a cell and the cell wall. This space is called cell padding. So from the border to the cell, if you want to give the space, then you have to use cell padding. So users use various elements to specify the details of a table. Many table elements take attributes which allow you to further specify the look of the table. So some of the table elements are table element to define a table. The starting and ending tag, you have to use table element. In between that, you have to use th, element to define a table heading. Tr, element to define a table row. Td, element to define a table data. Caption, element to define a table caption. ID, that is the name of the table. You can use number of tables in your web page. So if you want to identify each table, then you have to use ID. Border, property to define a border. So th is for first row, we have the attribute names. So for that, we have to use th. For example, roll number, name of the student, date of birth. And then we have the first line is headings. Then we have to use the tag is th. For creating the row, you have to use tr tag, that is table row. For storing the data, we have to use td, table data. For if you want to give the caption for your table, then you have to use caption tag element. And ID is for, you can use a number of tables in your web page. Then if you want to identify each table separately, then you can use ID tag, ID attribute. Next, border property. If you not specify the border property, that will look same what you are displaying here, same it will display like that. If you use border property, so it will display the lines. So for example, see here, I want to store the, in application, first name, last name, age. So without using the border, it displays the output like this, right? So you have to use the first tag is table tag, table, and end with /table. In between that, we have to use table tags. For creating the row tr, you have to start with tr element and end with tr. That means one row. How many columns? 3 columns, right? So each one you have to use here th, one row and 3 columns. See here, first row tr, start with tr and end with tr. In between that, we are writing table headings, table headings. That is th, the first name, another attribute is last name, and third attribute is age. So first column displays the first name, second column last name, third column is age. The first row is divided into three columns: the first name, last name, and age. So that is the first row. In coming to second row onwards, we'll store the data, actual data, right? So here you have to use the tag is td or td element. Start with td and end with td. In between that, you have to store information. That is, for example, td Priya and end with /td. And last name is Sharma. td. In between that, write name Sharma. So the first name is Priya and the last name is Sharma and age is 24. Age is 24. So first row is created. And again second row, tr, open with tr, the first td, store the Vinay, and the second column last name is Kumar, right in between the td, and last is age, the column third is age, right, the age is 28, and end with tr. And entire, you want to close the entire table, right, that is the end of your table means /table. You have to write /table. All these elements you have to write in between table, right, body, in between the body element, right. So HTML specifies, so this is, we are using here language is hypertext markup language, and save this file with extension .html. You can use Notepad++ or Sublime Text Editor for creating these files, and save that and open this file in web browser. You can use Chrome or Internet Explorer or any browsers, we can open it. Okay, you'll get the output like this. So if you want to get border, right, then you have to use the attribute name is for table tag, table space, border is equal to, in double quotes, 1. Then it display here border. Okay. So that is table tag has many number of attributes. So some of them are use various elements to specify the details of a table. Many table elements also take attributes which allows you to further specify the look of the table. So we have different table elements, right? So all we can use, that is table, th, tr, td, caption, id, border. So other than this, you can also use cell padding and cell spacing. What is this cell padding and cell spacing? Which you will use to adjust the white space in your table cells. The cell spacing attribute defines space between table cells, while cell padding represents the distance between cell borders and the content within a cell. Suppose you want to give space between each cell, then you have to use cell spacing. So if you want to give the space from the border to the cell, then you have to use cell padding as your attribute in table tag. So how to write table? You have to use the element, you have to write table table space, the attribute name is cell padding, sorry, padding, and assign here 1 or 5, okay, and cell spacing is equal to 5, right? So and end with table tag, right? So here cell spacing from each cell to cell, it takes 5 pixels, and from border of the table to cell is 5 pixels, right? So like that we can use cell padding and cell spacing, right? And width and height. So based on your browser, you can also specify the table width and height also. So width and height attributes are used to set table width and height in terms of pixels or in terms of percentage of available screen area. And next attribute is text align. So text align property to align cell text. How to display your text in table, either in center or left alignment or right alignment or right how you want to display your text, that will use the attribute in table tag is text align. Text align. Also, you can also use other elements, that is T head. T head is for element to create a separate table header, and T body, element to indicate the main body of the table, and T foot. So for footer, element to create separate table footer. Suppose you want to create header and footer, then you can use T head and T foot. So one of the example for cell padding and cell spacing, right? Table border is equal to 1. That means it takes the border here. It will display the border. In previous example, it will not display the border. By default, it will be 0. If you specify border is equal to 1, then it displays here, right, outer line. And each cell also separated. Here cell padding is equal to 5 and cell spacing. See here, from when you specify cell spacing is equal to 5 from each cell. See here, this one is one cell and this one is another cell. So from cell to cell, it takes the space is 5 pixels, right? From this border to cell, it takes again 5, because we written here cell padding is equal to 5. And remaining already we discussed, that is TR for table row, and heading is TH, that is name and salary. 2 columns we use, that is name and salary, column 1 and column 2. So how to create this column? That is TH and right, TH, or we can also use TD for storing the data. Again, you have to create separate row, that is TR tag, and TD is for storing the data, actual data, that is Ramesh Raman, and salary is 5,000. So one TD is Ramesh Raman, another TD is for 5,000, right? So say another row we want to create, third row. Again, you have to start with TR and end with TR. In between that, use TD element, okay, end with table, okay. So there is way we can use, right? If you want to display the caption, then you have to write caption element. In table, write the caption element. Like that, you can use any number of attributes based on your requirement. You can also change the background color of the table, or we can write. You can also use row spans and call span also. So 2 more attributes in table tag is call span and row span. Call span attribute to make a cell span many columns, right? If you want to merge 2 or more columns, then you have to use call span. If you want to merge rows, right, horizontal, then you have to use row span. See here in this example, right, we have 3 columns. If you want to merge that 3 columns, right, 3 columns, then you have to use call span. If you want to merge row wise, if you want to merge these 2 rows, then you have to use row span, right? So table tag, border is equal to 1, border color is green. So border color here, it is green color, and background color is VG color is equal to yellow color. And so first headings we given, column names. After that, the first column we merge 2 rows. That is row span is equal to, the value is 2. So row 1 cell 1 is we merge 2 rows into a single cell by using row span. After that, we return column 2 and column 3, that is 2 rows we given here. No need of specifying the first column name. Again, no need of writing TD for second row. And if you want to merge all the columns, 3 columns, right? Column 1, column 2, column 3, then again you have to use column span is equal to 3. Then it will merge these 3 columns into a single cell. So that is use of call span and row span. One of the example, we can use timetables. If you want to display lunch break, right? If you want to display the labs, suppose we have labs is 3 classes. If you want to merge the 3 columns, right, then you have to use call span. If you want to display lunch break for all days, the lunch break is common, right? So if you want to merge all the rows from 1250 to some 130, then you have to use row span is equal to 6. 6. And call span is equal to, for lab sessions, call span is equal to 3. So like that we can use row span and call span. Okay, we go for new file, new file, so HTML, save this file, table.html, save this file, right? Then we can understand here, right? It is a HTML document, body. So I'm using table tags, table, and end with body, and also end with HTML. Right? So in between table tags, you have to use tr, right? So for headings, you have to use th. For example, first one is first name, and end with th. And second column is last name, and third column is age, right? Age. So that is headings, and end with tr. The first row we are giving the right headings, and first row is the first row. I'm storing the actual data, right? Again, same thing. You can copy. The first name is, for example, Krishna, and last name is Atmakuri, right? And age is 32. So like that, we can create any number of rows, right? For this example, I taken 2, right? Lakshmi, 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 right? Malayala, right? Age is 30. Right? Save this file and go to the folder, right? Where you save that file. Try to save all the files in same folder, right? Open this file. See here. Actually, I use the table tags, but it's not displaying here. But it displayed in well-structured form only, but it's not displaying the word. So for that, what we have to do? So for table tag, we have to add the attribute is border is equal to, and the value is 1. Save this file, right? And do the refresh. So now we got the border, right? First name, last name, age, and 2 rows we created, right? So like that we can create tables by using table tags, right? Table, tr is for creating row, th is for heading. So here comparing to actual text and headings, somewhat different is there. That is some bold will be for table heads. Okay. So tr, th, and as first row we have to use td, right? Don't use th. You have to use for td, right? For storing the data. For differentiate, you can also use, right? But differentiating heading and data, we have to use, right, td for table data. Right? Just save this file. And open the browser and do the refresh. Now you can identify the difference between heading and actual content. So as well as we can use attributes, cell padding. Cell padding is 5, and cell spacing. So one of the advantage in Sublime Text Editor, it will give the help also. Let's save this file and do the refresh, right? So cell padding and cell spacing. So cell padding means from, see here, from outer line from to the cell line is a 5 pixels is difference, and from cell to cell also it is 5 pixels, right? So that is cell padding and cell spacing. Suppose you want to add BG color, background color, right? Then you have to use, right, save this file and do the refresh, right? So like that we can add background color. For each cell also we can add the background color, and we can display this text in center also. Just give the center tag, center element we can use, right? And save this file, do the refresh. In the entire browser, display in the center, displays in the center. Okay. So like that we can use table tags. So we have many number of attributes out there for table tag, right? So all of them we can practice it. So as well as we can also display the text in center or left align or right align, right? That also we can use. So like this we can practice and we can develop the applications. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.